Well, first and foremost, thank you to all the fun messages I've gotten over the last couple of days saying, "Where the hell are you?" Folks wondering, "What the heck? There's been no episode for a week. Hey, what's going on here? This is the longest, hiatus we've ever had in nearly 4 years." And I took a little vacation there. If you follow my IG page, you'd know that I threw a little story up there about box breaking. You guys know who follow me. Since before COVID, basically, before having a podcast, before doing any of these episodes or any kind of content, I break cards with Ian, and during COVID, decided we're going to do a break every Friday, and have not failed. Broke every Friday. Vacation posed a little bit of an interesting thing. Sometimes I've gone on vacation and I'll bring a fat pack, a cello pack, or a blaster or something for us to just open. Never really hit anything great on vacation, which I guess we're lucky because it's gonna be hard to keep it in good shape. Bring it back. You got to bring like plastic. You got to bring like who wants to pack? It's bad enough packing for vacation without having to worry about that. This time, if you see my title, it's a little catchy. It's grabby. It's attention grabbing. Rip off, rip night, rip collecting. We're gonna talk about a lot of fun stuff here. It actually is a positive kind of spin we'll put on it, but we'll start off with kind of what I did for rip during vacation, right? Because I didn't bring cards with me, so I happened to be on IG, back in the room after a day at the beach, and there's a little color here, by the way, guys. I don't know if you can see. It's a little bit of color, not a ton, but a little bit of color. I mean, you can see like I have one of those bracelets. See, like there's a little white, there's a little more color there. But I tried to, be an adult this time. I tried to not, get too sunburned and the peely and the whole deal. So, a lot of sunscreen. It was Aruba. The sun's a little harsh there. I have come back like completely peeled, completely red tomato faced. This is good. I'll take this. It'll probably be gone by tomorrow. But anyway, I happened to be on IG back in a hotel after a day at the beach and saw Seablaz was on with Erica Jones, I think is her name, and they're looking to break open packs of FOTL or Prism. It was Prism release day, I think, or maybe the day after. NBA Prism basketball, is out this week. And, FOTL is like shimmers. And of course, you get caught up in it, right? You see everybody posting, the backyard guys posting, look at these hits we got. And PSA has already graded them 10 and, Hobby House and, the stores posting on the page, look, we got the product in. And you see Wemby here and Wemby there and Wemby everywhere, right? I mean, there's curtains for everybody. And, you get kind of drawn in and you're like, all right, well, let me get in on one of these, right? Let me open some. And that could be the rip with Ian. It's like a different kind of rip, right? I don't really do breaks online too often. I've done a few here and there, a couple a year probably. And I said, all right, well, nobody's breaking. And it was, I think, you want to talk about ridiculous pricing, right? I think it was $100 a pack for a regular, Prism, and I think it was $200 for FOTL, or it was, wound up being I think it was like $2,000 for $2,200 for an FOTL box. Anyways, open one pack, and I guess in an FOTL box you're gonna get 2 shimmers and 2 autos. And I opened one pack, I got literally nothing, just garbage. Open another pack, got garbage. And I'm like, all right, you know what? There's only 10 packs left, and the 10 packs are now going to cost $1,800 more, right? So just go ahead and finish it. Here's the box. Let's get the the shimmers and the autos, and let's see what there is, and let's pull that Wemby, right? Oh man, it's going to be great. I mean, we're doing this live. There's 60, 70, 80 people watching, and it's going to be great. This is just a video that's going to get shown all over again, because when we hit the Wemby 101, when we hit the gold Wemby number 1 of 10, forget about it. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be all over IG. People going to be showing it all over the place, and then the card's going to go to auction, and it's going to change your life, and it's going to be life-changing money, and boom, that's going to happen. That has to happen, because that's what happens, right? You see that all over IG. Like, people are just hitting, Wemby here, Wemby there, and Wemby everywhere. Well, I guess pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. It's the man in front of the curtain that matters, right? It's Wemby standing there on the card with the curtain behind him. And pack number 3 is open, and we didn't get a Wemby. There was one of the Thompson brothers base cards, and no Pulsar. Pack 4 gets open at 5, gets open at 6, and finally it's a Pulsar. Yeah, we're gonna get something. We're gonna get a wave, shimmer. Excuse me. We're gonna get a shimmer. We're gonna shimmer. It's a blue shimmer to 35. Is it Wemby? I mean, it's gotta be, right? I mean, we're breaking. We're spending thousands of dollars. It's gotta be Wemby. It's gotta be my Wemby. No, it's Grayson Allen. And the other wave was also blue out of 35, which I guess are 2 shitty waves. And I don't even remember who it was because it was worse than Grayson Allen. And I don't remember who the 2 autos were because I don't know either of their names. And you sit there and you think to yourself, oh, what the hell did I do? What the heck was that about, right? I posted about it, and it's funny because it's gambling. It is. I mean, pure and simple. That's just a straight gamble. And it's funny. I ripped that. I'm sitting in on a Caribbean island. I'm sitting in an island where there's casinos everywhere. I didn't set foot into one of them, but I did. Because that's what breaking is. That's what ripping hobby stuff is. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm saying it in almost educational way, or almost know that going in, right? Know that that's what you're doing going in. Know that you're putting your money on the table. You're putting your money in that slot machine. You're putting your money down with that hope of jackpot, with that hope of progressive jackpot, with that hope of hitting the bonus and winning, right? Because why did we break that box? I'd like to say it's because we want the cards that are inside, but very rarely is that the case. And very rarely is that the right thing to do fiscally, to be honest, right? I mean, even some of our biggest bangers, even some of our biggest opening. I mean, Ian and I back in 2020 hit a blaster. He opened up and got a Zion green Pulsar out of 35, which, you remember that. You remember that pull of the slot machine where the 3 7s came up. It's muscle memory. It's in there, and you think it's going to happen again. You remember that one big hit, and you chase that hit, that first one, right? You chase that hit, even though that Wemby stayed behind the curtain this time and didn't make his grand appearance. But even that card, right? It should be sold. That Zion was definitely worth more when it was pulled than it is now. And I mean, Wemby may turn into one of these all-time greats, but there's a lot of Wembys. I mean, the reason why I thought, and many people think, I'm going to open this Prism box and I'm going to hit Wemby, is because all you see out there is Wemby. All you see out there are hits, because that's what's being publicized, right? I mean, when they do commercials for casinos in Las Vegas, it's everybody smiling and everybody having a good time and everybody winning, and jackpots and noises and parties. They don't show you the cash for gold that's right next to the casino. They don't show you the myriad of people who are leaving with significantly less money than they came in with. And so here's the fun. I don't want to go down that road because there's a point to this, right? If that's what this is, great. All right. If that's what the hobby is, great. As long as everybody understands that's what the hobby is. And there is a flip side to it, right? When you go to a casino, when you go to gamble, when you go to Las Vegas, you also get the stars. You get the bright lights. You get the entertainment, right? So it's not just you put your money down, you have a chance to get more money out, which breaking is. It is. But you also go and you get entertainment. You get the bright lights. You get the big city. You get the stars. You get to go see, Wayne Newton, right? You get to go see Celine Dion. You get to go see Blue Man Group and Cirque du Soleil and all the music, the arts, the whole deal, right? You get to see all that. You get to rub elbows with the celebrities that are there, right? It's all part of the package. Well, on the 24th of February this year, Tom Brady was at Citi Field with Skybox from Connecticut. And James Harden was out at the new Bleecker Trading LA, right? And he was out there ripping packs. And Cards HQ, Jeff Wilson and his, behemoth store down in Atlanta had Meek Mill and Chipper Jones, and so Corbin Carroll out in Arizona. And I'm leaving out a million names, right? But you get the point. If there's that many names to leave out, that means there were that many names out there. There are that many stars and celebrities brought out by Topps, by Fanatics. I saw Kraft. I mean, the guy who owns the Patriots is out there holding up jerseys and, and celebrating with kids. I mean, there are so many names that I'm forgetting. Kevin Durant was involved. I mean, there are just so many names, so many stores that I'm not going to name them all because I just don't have all of them. But that's what comes with it, right? And if that's where we're going, great, right? As long as everybody understands that that's the hobby now, right? And there's a good side to that. I mean, you see video out there of, a little girl trading cards with Tom Brady, and he's like, I'm going to give you this, you give me this, and by the way, I'm going to give you this one back signed. And she's like, signed by you? Yeah, okay, well, that kid walks away with a Tom Brady auto. I saw a basketball card guy. That dude is everywhere. Brought his kids to the Skybox thing with Brady and got an autograph on a football. I mean, just really, really cool stuff, right? I mean, James Harden, come on now. I mean, that's pretty awesome. The beard. Yesterday I was watching him play on TV. Less than 24 hours before, he's there at Bleecker Trading LA, ripping packs open and hanging out with collectors, hanging out with people. Remember, it's not collecting night. It wasn't hobby night. It was rip night. And that is the important thing, right? Because we're breaking boxes, we're breaking packs, we're ripping. It's not really about, come into the store and find an old vintage card or buy a card of someone you like. It was rip the packs and continue to rip the packs and continue to go back to the table and the machine and rip the packs, because the MGM is not making money off of you walking there, going in, checking in, walking through the casino and out the back door and to the vintage store and buying an old slot machine because you think it looks cool and you want to put that old slot machine in your basement. They are making money off of you checking in and sitting down at a table and putting your money down, right? That's the rip night part of it. And again, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The cards that people are going to collect ultimately have to be ripped out of packs anyway, right? I mean, that's where they are. Even the vintage stuff that I talk about, they were in packs. Someone had to rip those packs, right? I mean, your Mickey Mantles to your PMGs, they were in packs. So the ripping is, a necessary part of it, right? We're celebrating that ripping. I wonder if there's a way to, on the back end, maybe also reinforce, hey, what'd you get when you ripped? And is there anything in there you're going to keep? Like maybe more of the MVP buyback type of stuff, maybe more of the, I don't know, maybe if you open something on Rip Night, maybe the next Rip Night, here you go, Fanatics. I'm coming up with, fun ideas. Maybe the next Rip Night you're doing silver packs, like the packs that come out of, your Topps boxes now. Right, with the 1989, the silver or mojo, right? Maybe you have everybody who comes to Rip Night and buys a box gets a pack. I don't know if there's a way to do this where the LCS doesn't abuse it, because the silver packs putting in box was genius. Instead of just giving the store the silver packs for them to just resell them online, right? I don't know if there's a way to do this, but everybody who comes to Rip Night should be able to rip a pack, and in there is like a card that if you bring it back to the next Rip Night, or if you bring it back to the store, if you hold on to it, right? If you collect X number of them, if you keep 10 of them, almost like your punch cards at your local frozen yogurt place, whatever it is, if you collect a bunch, boom, you get this. I mean, Fanatics has the ability to do this, whether it's a jersey or whatever. Collect 2 Rip Night cards, collect this, buy this at this place, and hold on to it. Build a set of these Rip Night cards, and you turn them in for a jersey, for a hat, for a limited version of a card of someone who's like a Rip Knight athlete. Or maybe you get to make sure that if you do all 5 of the Rip Knights in a row, you get to meet one of the athletes at your LCS. You know, you're one of 10 people who actually gets to meet and greet, shake hand, take a picture, whatever it is. I mean, there's a million ways of doing this, but it kind of bolsters more than just the ripping. It's rip and hold, rip and collect, hang on to that stuff. You know what I mean? Which is, you know, I think just as important part of the hobby as, you know, getting athletes out there and doing the ripping. And you want people just to actually want to collect something. You want them to hold something. And I will say this. I like what Topps did this time around, like what Fanatics / Topps did this time around with the Topps product, right? There are changes. There are subtle changes. Putting the silver packs, which have been the last couple of years, actually in the box so that the consumer who buys the box gets that pack and make sure that it's there and it's not something that the LCS can give out willy-nilly. Oh, I sold this many boxes, you get this many packs. That was a small, subtle change that favors collectors. There's more of that, right? I've come on and I've complained about the lack of value in opening these boxes, right? It used to be you could buy a jumbo box or a hobby box for, you know, buy a hobby box for $80. And if you grab the rookies out, the Yordan Alvarez, the Bo Bichette, and this year the Ellie and the Dominguez, you were able to send them in for grading and recoup the cost of the box, or at least part of it. And there was more than just ripping there, right? There was a next step besides just opening the packs and hoping for a monster and hitting the jackpot on the slot machine. There was a way to collect. There was a way to kind of continue with that product, right? Grade, maybe sell, maybe use the money to buy back, and maybe keep 1 or 2, right? You know, if you grade 3 Yordan Alvarez base and get 3 10s, maybe you sold 2 of them to recoup some of your costs and kept 1. And that was how you started building a PC. I'm speaking from, you know, actual what my son and I did. Well, the more value that gets added to those boxes, the bigger the chase is, the better it is for both sides. The better it is for pricing for the LCS, the better the demand is going to be for people to come in and buy them. They'll be able to move the inventory, but also there's more potential value in those boxes. Adding things that aren't known right up front, that add a little bit of mystery to it, is a cool thing. They did it with the taco fractor. You want to, you know, laugh about that, great, but it was something that was talked about and something that was ultimately chased there at the end with some mystery to it. You know, adding a mystery refractor or a mystery auto to the MLS turns out to be messy as crazy. You know, there are people who were buying those things for hundreds of dollars and now worth thousands. I mean, that is a product that now there's some real heat to. I think there's a finest version coming out now because, you know, allegedly Messi's auto is going to be on card. You know, just these, you know, adding this fun little wrinkle to it. On Topps, the gold mirror back. I mean, whether you like the Easter stuff or not, that's personal preference and it's subjective, but they're adding value to these things. Now, more parallels, some people like it, some people don't. The team color match. I mean, how many times have you heard, oh, it's a team color match? Well, they actually put the team color match on the card for, you know, for folks. And then to add in like super short prints, right? They've always been short prints, but to sneak in without even, you know, telling anyone, you know, Ohtani on the Dodgers in Top Series 1 and a Soto on the Yankees in Top Series 1. Take a break for a second. I mean, it'll be in my news tomorrow, you know, for those of you guys who are watching this. But last night, one of the Ohtani unnumbered base, just a super short print. You don't know how many of them are out there. Ohtani's Top Series 1 in the pack, you know, inserted in packs, Dodgers SP, not an Angels one. The Angels one's the base card, but the super short print where he's in a Dodgers, first Topps card, 2024 Topps Series 1 Dodgers. Sold for $1,700 last night. An unnumbered, you know, card that no one knew was in there. You know, when that starts to make its way through, and I mean, the Soto's not far behind in value, and that starts to make its way through the world of IG, you know, and people start to do videos of it, and you see it in my news tomorrow, people will start to open more Topps products. The blasters will get open. The stuff will move off the shelves. That's a little thing that didn't have to do, but they did, right? And it's going to drive demand, right? It's going to drive people looking for that stuff. Maybe not because they want to keep that card, maybe because they want to sell it, but it's going to drive demand. The Ohtani and the Soto. I'm not a huge Kevin Hart fan, But think of the marketing around that. I guess he's a Philly guy, right? And they put his picture superimposed on the cards of the Phillies, the Team Philly card. Kyle Schwarber hitting the bat, and there's Kevin Hart sitting on the border of the card. I realized he was short. I didn't realize he was 5'2". I guess he's 5'2", and they made 52 copies of each one of the cards that he's on. That's not a lot of them, but there's a couple hundred of them out there because there's it's on more than one card. And then they were able to market it. I guess there's a video of like Ruben calling him or him calling Ruben, or a phone call, a FaceTime where he's like, "Did you put me on cards?" Well, just like the Babe Ruth first Bowman gimmick kind of thing that they did, where I pointed out that Babe Ruth actually had a Bowman card before that was given out the National. There's a 2015 Kevin Hart Topps card. This is not his first baseball card. They're not going to talk about that, obviously. Maybe I should do a video about it. But it's another thing to chase. And it's another thing to chase because it's another thing that adds value to the product, right? It's another thing that somebody, if they hit in a box, can sell and recoup way more than the cost of what they paid for the box. That it's innovation. Subjectively, you may not like it. Subjectively, you may think they could have done a million other things. The fact that they're doing something is a good thing. It's adding value to people who are ripping. It's adding value to what you can get back in those boxes. And it makes it so that this can continue, right? And there are people who are chasing those things that are in the boxes. That's the important thing. That's the distinction between this and a casino. Nobody's chasing credits, right? You're not buying into a casino and hoping for the paper that comes out that says you have this many credits. There are people who want to own the cards that come out of these packs. Somebody wants that Juan Soto with the Yankees, first Yankee. Somebody wants the Ohtani. Now, maybe there aren't that many who want it at $1,700. I'm sure that price will settle. But there are people who ultimately want the card. And as long as we keep sight of that, Topps keep sight of that, and keep sprinkling in this fun stuff. I mean, this Rip Night, it's hard for me to say anything bad about it. Just look at the video, look at the content that's coming out, kids jumping up and down, winning bats and meeting their heroes and meeting the athletes that they get to see on TV. Somebody asked me what I would grade Fanatics now. Give me a scale of 1 to 10. I mean, this week it's a 10. I mean, it's not going to be 10 every week, but the week where you do Rip Night is a 10, solely on the back of this kind of stuff did not happen before Fanatics took over, right? There were cards, sure. And I'm sure there was an athlete here and there, and if you went to the National, you can get some autographs if you paid for it and the whole deal. But think of the blitz of athletes and superstars. I mean, Meek Mill, not my cup of tea, but people like him. Sitting in the card store in Atlanta, trading cards with people, right? Think of the athletes. Think of the folks that were able to be, brought to their fans, right? People who were out there. I think Bryce Young was out there also. I mean, I'm going to leave out people, just the list. You can look it up. I mean, and there are names that weren't even on the list that showed up. That's a cool thing that we didn't have even just a couple years ago. So, I mean, big thumbs up on that. More of that is better because that keeps the kids engaged. It keeps the hobby fun. It keeps collecting going. Just be careful ripping these boxes, guys. Know what you're getting into going in. And I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Sorry for being gone for a little while. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Talk to you soon, everybody.